Everybody, it's Dr. Carmen Bryan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Those of you that are new subscribers and those of you that have been with me for a while, thank you so much for joining me. This is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. So today's episode, I wanted to talk about talking less, listening more. Now, most of the time we're referring to the narcissist, which this is what the channel is about, overcoming narcissist abuse. But in general, a lot of times we talk entirely too much. And so if you recall in most of my videos, and a lot of other people's videos, you'll notice that a narcissist does not talk to connect or build a rapport. They're talking to you in order to fish. And I think one of the subscribers actually, that was a beautiful analogy or a word that we can use is they're fishing for information. That's exactly what they're doing. They're fishing for information. They're interrogating you. They need to know what script you have. You're drawing out the script because when they meet you, they get you to talk. And so they need to know the script. Where were you hurt? What has happened to you? What was your past relationships like? They need to know what role to play in that script that you provide them. And a lot of you who are hurting, you talk too much. And so you meet someone and then immediately you just start talking about your pain, talking about what has happened to you, talk about your family, now think about it when you have predators. You have predators such as the narcissist. They're listening to the stories that you're telling them. Now think about it. When they have conversations with you, they'll probe you for information. And if you notice, now also listen, this is also something that happens with people that have ADHD. And so I want to clarify that as well, because a lot of times when you're dealing with a person that has ADHD, they jump from topic to topic because their mind is already ahead of the question that they may have asked, or they're already thinking of something else. They're getting bored very easy. A narcissist grows bored very easy because in the conversation with you, they're targeting and they're focusing on specific information. They're looking for specific stuff or specific information they need from you. And so that means they may ask you a question, but you notice they may not allow you to finish answering that question. They've already jumped to something else, or you're in the middle of explaining something or talking about something, and they may jump to something else because they're looking for something. And while you're talking, you may not be giving them what they're looking for. So they're jumping from topic to topic. To you, it feels like, this is wonderful. They're giving me an opportunity to talk. But what you don't realize if you slow down and listen is that they really are really disrespecting you in the conversation because they're looking for specific stuff. So you're never able to finish or complete your sentences, or you may start on one idea. You're already on something else. They're looking for something. They find something and then they allow you to elaborate. They let you talk and talk and talk. Then they ask you questions and more questions. Let's say, for example, people that are interested in psychology and you ask questions and how does this work? And how does this work? And how does this work? And you begin to explain and you begin to talk about this, or a narcissist is trying to figure out what you know about narcissism, and they're asking you, okay, what about this? What about depression? What about anxiety? What about this right here? And what about the narcissist doing this right here? What about this? Now, for some of you want to know the information, but what about a narcissist? They want to know certain things so that they can have that same conversation with you. Now, what they'll do is they'll take what you've given them and then they mirror you and then they regurgitate the information back to you the way that they want to give it back to you. If you're not paying attention, you're like, oh my gosh, we have so much in common. Oh my gosh, you know so much. No, they're regurgitating your information back to you. They're mirroring you. They're giving your information to you. And you're just so elated that you just continue talking. It's almost like they're testing the ground. How much can I give you back from yourself to know whether or not you realize or not that this is your own information? They're just mirroring you. They're just repeating what you're saying. They're just using their own way of thinking or their own vocabulary to give you your own information back. But a lot of you talk too much. Now, check this out. If you ever notice, like the narcissist will call, especially like if they have a lot of other supply, they won't use your name. So they may say things like, hey, what's up? This is me. And what do you find yourself compelled to do? Because it's quiet on the phone. No one is saying anything. Hey, what's up? It's me. And you're thinking to yourself like, you called me. Or you're listening and then you just feel compelled to just start talking because it's too quiet. A lot of times people can't handle quiet. A narcissist can't handle quiet either. And so they're always going to get you to talk and they're going to listen to what you're saying. They want to know what you know. If they're doing things, if they call you and then they're quiet, they want to know what you know. They want to feel your vibe. They want to hear what you have to say. Do you know what I'm doing? Or let me know what you're doing, or let me figure out what you're thinking so I know that I'm not getting caught, or I need to know what you're thinking at that particular time. So they get you to talk. and you feel compelled to talk. Quiet is very uncomfortable, but quiet is being used as a weapon for the narcissist. Remember the silent treatment? The silent treatment normally is when they're punishing you or they're ghosting you and they're giving you silent treatment because they're focused on somebody else. But if they're giving you the silent treatment, and it's not even a silent treatment, if they're talking to you and they're quiet, it's because they want you to do all the talking. They need to know where you are at. And for those of you that are trying to go no contact and you have to make sure that you have the last thing to say in the relationship, all they're trying to figure out is where you at. They're trying to locate you. And the more you talk, the more they realize you still care. A person that doesn't care anymore doesn't do a whole lot of talking. Hey, what's up? All right. I was just calling to see what you were doing. Nothing. What do you need? You see what I mean? So you're not really that's gray rocking. You're not really feeding them any information. They can't handle the quiet either. And so if you're quiet enough, they'll begin to tell you where they're at. They'll begin to tell now the more experienced narcissists know how to work that silence and that quiet to get you to talk. So they know how to manipulate that silence. They know how to manipulate to get what they want. But when they begin to lose control and you're quiet and you don't say too much, they feel compelled to get you to start talking. So they start talking. And if you pay attention, they'll tell you their location. They'll tell you, well, I just want to come get the kids and everything. Or they'll tell a flat lie. Yeah, you said that you're going to, let the kids come and everything, and that you were going to give me custody. I've never said that. Yes, you did. You said, but remember, if you keep arguing with them, you begin to question your own reality. What did I really say? And if you just say, no, I didn't. And they'll start talking to, well, I'm not saying that we have to stop the child support. I'll continue to pay you child support. What they're telling you is that I'm trying to get custody from you to stop the child support. So see, they've already told on themselves. Everything that they tell you that they're not thinking, they're not doing, I don't want you to think this way, or I don't want you to think that I'm a narcissist. They don't know that they're a narcissist. Most of them don't, but I don't want you thinking that I'm a narcissist, because I'm not going to stalk you, or, I don't want to seem like I'm a predator. But they start describing their behavior. They start describing your behavior and they're joking. I don't want you thinking that's like me. They know that you can pick up the behavior once you learn it. They know that you can identify the behavior. They just want to identify themselves as being a narcissist. But they identify all the behaviors, and then they'll give you the behaviors that they do. I don't want you thinking I'm like this. I don't want you to think that I'm like this. I don't want you to, but they're telling you everything that you want to know. Give you a prime example. I was giving this an example to somebody I was talking to today. And I remember this young lady was telling me that it got to a point where she was always explaining herself. So he would call and accuse her of cheating. I know that, you moved out, and the only reason why you moved out is because you met somebody else. And she found herself explaining herself all the time. That is not why I moved out. I moved out because you are violent. This is domestic violence and you mistreat me. So she's talking. That he knew that as long as he can keep her talking, he knew that she still cared. She was still trying to defend herself. She was still trying to explain herself, and she said this went on for a while. He would call and I know you have someone over there. I know you're seeing somebody. I never saw anybody even when I was with you, and she kept explaining. She said one day, Dr. C, she just got tired of explaining myself. She said, I didn't care anymore. And so what ended up happening was, I know you have somebody over there. I know you're seeing someone, what are you over there doing? She said, same thing you're doing. Like, you're a whore. You're a whore. You're a slut. You're this, you're that. She says, it's funny. She says, I realized what he was doing. She says, and that's all I said was the same thing you're doing. And once I did it, it dawned on me that what you were saying was correct. I got quiet. I didn't really feed into it. I told him I was doing the same thing. I listened more than I talked, and he ended up telling on himself. So a lot of times, if you learn to be quiet and stop talking so much, even when you meet people, that is not the time that you tell all your business. That's not the time that you tell all your hurt. You have not gained their trust. They have not earned your trust. They have not earned credibility with you. You don't know their character. And you think that you're building rapport by telling a person I need them to know everything about me. No, for some people, when you're telling them everything about you, you are giving them fuel. You are giving them weapons. Basically you're giving them your kryptonite. And anything that you say, and especially if you're dealing with a narcissist, anything that you say will be used against you later on in your life to maintain control or to trauma bond you or to punish you. Your words will be used against you. So you think that when you're and it's sad because you think that when you're spilling your heart out to this individual and telling him all the things about you, or telling her all the things about you, and all the deepest secrets that you have and desires that you have, a lot of those desires, they're using that to pull you in, because now all of a sudden they have the same desires as you. But all the hurts and pains that you have, and you just want someone to listen and to have compassion or empathy for you, they're actually using that to use that against you later on. If you're the type of person, I don't like to be abandoned, my family abandoned me, and my father abandoned, my mother abandoned me, and I was abused, and one thing that I can't stand is this right, and the cheating, and I can't, and I can't handle this, and this is something that I don't want. All that right there will be used against you later on. They will abandon you. They'll make sure you feel rejected. They'll make sure that you feel. Because you've told them everything that's going to hurt you, so they're going to use that against you. A person, and we have to say healthy, normal, because we don't really know what normal is nowadays. But a healthy person will discover you themselves. Will get to know you without having to manipulate you to give you information. They'll pay attention to you, because when a person is really interested in you and interested in your well-being, they pay attention to you. They listen to you when you're talking, and you listen to them when they're talking. It's a mutual exchange, and you don't feel like you're being raped in your mind or being stripped in your mind and in your heart. So you guys think about it. Talk less, listen more. If you listen more, you'll hear more. A lot of times you don't hear what you need to hear because you're talking more than you're listening. And a narcissist doesn't mind that, because if you talk a lot, they can jump you from topic to topic to topic to topic, and they lead you where you need to be. They'll even, I call it thought insertion, but they'll use a thought as a seed and manipulate you around that thought, and manipulate you into thinking what they're thinking. And those are not even your thoughts. Listen more, talk less. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully this has helped, and or watching. Those of you that are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I am Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the subscribe, then make sure you hit all. So everything that loads up, or anytime I come on live, because I come on live on Sundays. I usually come on between 8 and 9 o'clock p.m. West Coast time, so Pacific Standard Time. But because of the fact that we are on a lockdown, I am not traveling, so I'm not on the road. So I'm able to come on between 3 p.m. So I'm usually between 2 and 4 p.m. West Coast time, on the Pacific Standard Time. So you guys make sure you look for make sure you go back, click the subscribe button, make sure you hit all, so that you can get the alerts when I come on. I'm also on Facebook, Psychological Health Consultants and Services, and I'm also on Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Make sure you hit the like button whenever I upload. I also have a book. I would get up and get it, but it's Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. If you look underneath my YouTube, under this video, under YouTube, it is in Barnes & Noble, it is in Amazon. You can get the ebook, you can get the Kindle, you can get hard, you can get the soft copy. I do have a young lady that has purchased some books, and hopefully my moderators that usually are on Sundays are listening to this video. Just Be Real, New Dawn Arises, Telsha, Stevie Bananas, and TMG. All 5 of you guys will be receiving a free book because someone has donated to you guys, and I wanted to make sure you guys got it because of the fact that you guys do such an awesome job. You guys are fun to work with, and you guys are my moderators, and I wanted to show you my appreciation by making sure that you guys get my book. Hopefully you're listening to this pre-recorded message and email me. And even those of you that are interested in coaching, my email is drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. You'll find it underneath the video. Email me so that I can get, if you feel comfortable, send me your address to the moderators that I just mentioned so that I can send you this book as a gift. And those of you that are seeking coaching sessions with me, I do coaching. Those of you that are outside of the state of Washington, if you are outside of the state of Washington, I can provide you with coaching services concerning overcoming narcissist abuse and dealing with narcissism, and giving you some, advice on, narcissism in general, to coach you in narcissist abuse, overcoming narcissists, and connecting you to agencies like counseling, to domestic violence agencies, domestic violence advocate. If you are in the state of Washington, I offer counseling. So if you need counseling inside the state of Washington, you can also email me at the link below, and I will provide you You have to find out what insurance you have. But those of you that want coaching, let me know, and I will provide you with the fees. And that information is underneath. Those of you that are looking for a counselor outside the state of Washington, you're looking for counseling, I have a sponsor link. It is betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen, and you can find counselors that specialize in trauma, abuse, psychological abuse, post-traumatic stress disorder, and they provide you at a nominal fee. When you hit the link, you get a 10% discount. And if you are struggling with finances at this particular time, let them know, and they will also assist you with a grant. And you can find counselors in your state and in your area for counseling. And so hopefully that has helped you guys. Also, make sure that you go to my mentor's YouTube channel. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper, and subscribe, and make sure you share these videos. Those of you that are seeking, church at the time, you can also go to her Facebook page under Apostle Helen Sadler, and you can follow her on Thursday's Bible study and Sunday's church. So those of you that are interested and have asked me, please, join her. I believe in the whole person concept. I know everyone is not a believer, everyone's not a Christian, and that's fine, no big deal. But the point is that some of you guys have inquired, and I want to make sure that we focus on the whole person concept. Your spiritual being, your soul care, your mind, your psyche, your psychological, your psyche is your psychological, your soul care, and make sure that you guys are taken care of. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out my podcast too. It's underneath podcast. My main platform is Podbean, and it's Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Make sure you check out my podcast. Thank you guys so much. And do know, I haven't forgotten about the conferences. I am right now working with a team to put together a new website and to create my classes. And so, matter of fact, as soon as I get off the camera, I'm going to go back because I'm creating a website, and I'm going to start creating classes for you guys to enroll in for classes. And so thank you guys once again. You guys go and be great.